So in this video today, I wanted to talk about a really straightforward way to improve your stretching and your mobility work. So there's a really great book called Relax into Stretch by Pavel Tsatsouline. And the title of the book pretty much sums up such a brilliant concept that when we approach stretching, we should use a mindset of relaxation, because what is determining our range of motion is not how much we can force a position, but actually our nervous system determines what length it has perceived as safe through what we do in our daily life. So, for example, if someone sits at a desk all day and doesn't do any mobility work or doesn't go to the gym or do full range of motion exercises, their mind is going to perceive shortened positions as more safe. For example, the hip flexors are going to be more short, they're not going to be used to getting into deep hip extension with lunges and split squats, and there's countless other examples of this. So relaxation is so important because we're trying to teach the mind that the new position that we want to access is safe. And this is such a big mistake because a lot of people approach stretching as, I want to get into this position, I'm going to force myself. But force gets you the opposite, because by forcing something, our muscles tense up even more. So we end up in a vicious cycle where we try to force more, this causes more tension, and we try to force even more, and this causes more tension. And the worst case scenario in this is that we might end up injured. So I'm just going to show briefly in an example here. I'm going to get into this 90-90 position, which is more or less stretching the left glute and some of the lower back muscles here. And basically, what is determining where I feel safe in this position is how long I've pretty much spent time in this position, and my nervous system has picked out a certain length for the muscle which it perceives as relatively safe. And because I've spent some time in this position, I can move forward quite quickly before I feel a lot of tension. However, if you don't train in these ranges of motion and your nervous system is already perceiving this position as tight, you might feel restriction straight away. So you might literally even feel restriction just sat up with a straight back in this position. And that's fine, but we have to understand that when we're in this position and we feel restriction, the worst thing we can do is think, okay, I'm going to tense up, I'm just going to push through it, because this is not the way the mind works and this is not the way stretching works. We want to teach our nervous system that this position is safe. So we can spend some time, for example, just breathing in this position, just staying calm and relaxing and more or less waiting for some of the tension to pass away, and then we can gently move further and further. But the worst thing we can do, like I said before, is force the position. And a few ways we can understand if we are forcing something or if we are being calm is through our facial expressions and just through how much we're tensing. Because if we are shaking a lot and we're really trying to push hard to get into this position, we're probably using force rather than letting things happen. And this mindset of relaxation really applies to more things than just stretching. Normally, the more we try to force something, the harder it is to actually obtain the thing we want. So we end up in this vicious cycle, as I explained before. Whereas if we just relax into the positions or relax in whatever we're doing, we tend to receive much better results. Now, there is a time and place sometimes for forcing, but for the most part, when it comes to stretching and mobility work, where safety is the number one, and we're really trying to teach our body that different positions are safe, when it comes to these practices, relaxation is always going to be the right mindset to go into this. So even if we end up in deep stretches and we are really trying to push our limits, for example, we still try to do this in a calm way, because any more tension we create ourselves, we just add to the tension that our muscles are already creating. So adopt a mindset of relaxation and you should get a lot better results.